The last few days of the transfer window and a North London derby in one episode. Goodness me, am I spoiling you lot? Hello and welcome to part 2 of my Football Manager 2017 Arsenal playthrough that needs a catchier name than that. Let me know down in the comments what that catchy name could be. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we're at home against Tottenham in the Premier League. The transfer window then slams shut and we're trying to offload a couple of players. I say trying, we're not trying that hard, but there are players that should be moving on from the club. And then we'll round off the episode with an away game against Bournemouth, also in the Premier League. Since you were last with me, we've just played the one game. We were away against Southampton and we really laboured to a 1-1 draw, and it was a really late equaliser. We had about 6 clear-cut chances in this game. We hit the post about 3 times, but we just really struggled to break Southampton down, and that might be a problem. I thought everything was going to be nice and easy after that 4-0 first day of the season win against Leicester. Maybe not. And now we're playing against our first proper challenge of the season in the shape of Tottenham. And this is going to be the team that we put out there for that game. We've got Cech in goal, a back four of Monreal, Koscielny, Mustafi and Bellerin. Ramsey and Wilshere in midfield with Sanchez, Ozil and Lamar in behind. Danny Welbeck up front. I am woefully low on firepower, to the point where Takuma Asano is probably our best option off the bench. Giroud is there as well, but I'm afraid to use him because he's not very good, is he? But that might be real world influences. I might have to give him a little go at some point. Asensio and Christensen, 2 of the new summer signings, still haven't started games yet, and I've decided to have Wilshere in the team ahead of Coquelin, partly because I'm trying to sell him. He's one of the few players who's wanted at the moment. It's Liverpool and Man City who want him, so if he plays well, we're more likely to be able to sell him. But also, because they always say with these derby games that you're better off having some of your own youth players in the team, some players who love the club, know what these games are all about, and blah, 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 blah. I don't know how much of an impact that actually has, but as we don't have a huge number of homegrown players here at Arsenal, and Wilshere's as good as whatever the other option we've got in midfield, it seemed like an opportunity to play him. The only real reason I want to sell him is because of how injury prone he is. He's already had 2 injuries for me since the save started, and we've not even made it to the end of the first transfer window yet. So if we can get anywhere near his £22 million value, then I'm going to be pretty happy. Because remember, we are trying to break even on our transfers over the course of this save, and we've spent over £150 million this summer. So we need to start recouping it. I'm actively looking to sell Wilshere, Alexis Sanchez, Mesut Ozil, trying to get rid of all those guys for more than the £150 million we've just spent on Lamar, Asensio and Christensen. Because if we don't get more for them than what we paid for the guys who are coming in with potential but who aren't as good, then that was a bad summer of transfer business. Right, Bellerin rushing forward here, using his pace, crosses to Welbeck, and it's 1-0 to Arsenal. 21 minutes on the clock. It's Danny Welbeck's 3rd goal of the season. He's scored in every game. I've been really critical of him, but he's scored in every game for us so far, so he's not an absolute disaster being our lone striker in this system. I'm still very keen for Lacazette's foot to heal as quickly as possible. But in the meantime, if Danny Welbeck keeps scoring a goal a game, then I guess I can't have too many complaints. It's quite weird for me cheering a team against Tottenham. I think this might be the first. This is the first time I've played against Tottenham since we left them in non-league to legend. Luckily, I don't recognise any of the players from my Tottenham team there. These are all these players what I see playing for Spurs on the telly, and it confuses me when I see them there. Lamar's in, and that's his 2nd goal of the season, and that's another beautiful finish from Thomas Lamar. Does he score bad goals, or does he just do the spectacular? He got an amazing free kick for us in the last episode, and this time Welbeck plays him in, and he's just kind of lofted that over the keeper. What a goal from Thomas Lamar. He's one of the reasons why I'm quite happy to let Alexis go. We've got Asensio sat there on the bench, who we spent a lot of money for. We want to get him in the team. I don't necessarily need to force both Alexis and Ozil out the club now, but I'm quite happy to sell one of them at this point because we can't be taking Lamar out of the team because he's the star of the midfield 3 at the moment, and I need to get Asensio in alongside him. Harry Kane's just scored an absolute screamer. I don't understand. It's August. How is that his 2nd goal of the season and it's still August? This game knows nothing. And I don't think Harry Kane scores goals like that off his left foot either. Is he left footed or right foot? I don't think Harry Kane scores goals like that. I think that's quite upsetting. Right, so it's 2-1, 25 minutes on the clock. This is a proper proper derby game at the moment, end-to-end stuff, and that's a poor clearance from Cech, and Kane is in a shooting position again, apparently. Ramsey wins the ball back, and we've got the chance to break here, and we're breaking quickly. Alexis to Welbeck, finds Lamar, who's in behind, tucks it back to Alexis, and it's 3-1 after 25 minutes, and that's Alexis Sanchez's first goal of the season. We are top of the league as things stand right now, and that was a lightning quick breakaway with all of our attacking players involved in it. I quite like this whole playing a 4-2-3-1 thing, having 4 attacking players on the pitch with the fluid movement between them. This is fun, this is exciting. Why did you not insist I play 4-3-1-2 for so long? It's too structured. This is much more fun when it works. Against Southampton in the last game that you didn't see, not so much fun. So I guess we're not going to maybe have as much consistency as we would with a more structured formation, but it's certainly got the potential to score some cracking goals, and we're showing that already on this series. Right, Lamar with the corner. Alexis is there, but it ends up in the hands of Lloris, who will presumably clear that upfield. And we build again from the back with Wilshere and Koscielny, who just messes around on the ball for far too long. It falls to Harry Kane, and that's a good save from Cech, who Pochettino called out as our weak link pre-match. If Petr Cech is actually our weak link, then this is a much better Arsenal squad than I thought it was, because he's supposed to be a good goalkeeper, isn't he? He wouldn't have played for Chelsea for as long as he did if he wasn't good, and he's not that old. So if he's genuinely the worst player we've got in our starting 11 at this point, then we should just be able to go and win the league. We should have scored there. We've had 3 clear-cut chances, but again, similar to in the last game, the clear-cut chances aren't the ones that we're scoring. Right, we're going to bring Asensio on. I think this is the first time Asensio is having the opportunity to play actually as a central attacking midfielder, which is what he wants to be doing. We'll bring Coquelin on in midfield as well. Just swap those two over. Drop Wilshere back to being the deep line playmaker and have Coquelin as a box-to-box midfielder. Should suit them both a little bit more than the other way around. And now we'll take off... I want to take off Monreal, but we don't have anyone who can go over to left back. So we guess we leave him on and instead take off Koscielny to give Christensen more game time. Just need to get as many games into Christensen as possible. So, now Welbeck's injured. I mean, our strikers are dropping thick and fast here. We can't afford more injuries to our attacking players. But in the meantime, we've beaten Tottenham. We're top of the league. What's wrong with Danny Welbeck? 4 or 5 days. That's fine. It's an international break now. Transfer window, international break. If there's any major transfers that happen, I'll come back and show you them. Otherwise, we'll be back for the Bournemouth game, which is the other side of the transfer window. No Alexis Sanchez in the team for the trip to Bournemouth, but it's not because we sold him, it's because he got injured on international duty. He's going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks with a groin strain. Alex Iwobi also injured as well, so he can't come in to replace him. Lacazette's still injured. He's going to be out for at least another 7 to 10 weeks. Theo Walcott is fit-ish, though, so he can come up onto the bench. But reshuffling everyone around, we're going to put Giroud in up front and drop Welbeck out to the left wing to replace Sanchez. And we've got Walcott and Asensio sat there on the bench to come on as and when they're needed. Other than that, the rest of the team is unchanged. I've just been made Premier League Manager of the Month, which means we're bound to lose this game. Thomas Lemar got Young Player of the Month in the Premier League as well and made his France debut. So he's a very happy chap. Yes, we've looked good in training. Yes, all that stuff. Right, let's see how we get on against Bournemouth. As it stands right now, Leicester are top of the league, who we absolutely thumped on the first day of the season. So we need to pick up a win here against Bournemouth to reassert ourselves atop the league ourselves. Oh, of course, Jermaine Defoe in the Bournemouth team, isn't he? He's bound to score against us. I've not seen us do well away from home with this setup yet. It seems to be working really well at home where we can control games and be all fancy. But the one time we've played away from home so far this season, it really didn't go so well. So I'm intrigued to see how we get on with this system away today. If it doesn't work again against Bournemouth, then it's going to be time to have a little bit of a rethink and come up with an away version of it. Keep this system for when we're at home and we are in a position to control games, but perhaps tweak it a little bit for when we're away from home. Maybe bring in an extra defensive midfielder, sacrifice one of the attacking 3, or fiddle around with it in some other way. Let me know down in the comments what you'd do to tweak the away from home system. Could we still just use the same lineup but maybe make it a little bit more defensive? Who knows? I'm sure we'll figure something out. But what I found in the game against Southampton is that we were kind of all over the place at the back. When they attacked us, we were often getting isolated with just two men back as they were coming at us. Probably because we've got two attacking fullbacks on overlap with no real holding midfield player. We've got Ramsey in there, who's a deep line playmaker on defend, but he's not exactly offering much in the way of protection to the back two most of the time. Wilshire's in there as a box-to-box midfielder, again not offering much in the way of protection. I've not seen Olivier Giroud on this pitch yet. What is he, number 12? Every time we attack, he seems to be getting left behind. Everyone else is attacking with pace, and Giroud's just not making it into the penalty area. There you go. He gets onto the end of a cross there, but I don't think he really fits into the style of football that I want to be playing. We want to be fast moving, getting the ball around fast, keeping the ball on the ground, attacking with pace, and I don't think Olivier Giroud is the man to work that system with us. So I don't think he's going to be the answer for while we've got these injuries, and perhaps we need to tweak it for the next game so that we maybe put Welbeck back up front and perhaps bring Asensio into the midfield three, shuffle them around a little bit. I mean, any of the three of them could play wide on the left. None of them really want to, but they all could. I think just it's a way to get Asensio into the team and get Giroud out of the team, because again, in exactly the same way as against Southampton, we're really, really labouring here. Lamar and Ozil, neither of them having particularly good games, so they're fairly easy substitutions to make. So we've got the players sat there ready to come on for them. So Walcott and Asensio come on, and we'll see if between the two of them they can maybe muster something up in these final 20 minutes. So it's Lamar. What's he going to do? Finds Ramsey, Ozil, Giroud, Lamar. Ramsey. I mean, we're knocking the ball around nicely, but there doesn't seem to be much in the way of end product. Maybe we need to take off work ball into the box when we're away from home and just be a little bit more ruthless with our chance creation. But then we've had 12 shots. We need to be converting them better. We don't necessarily need more shots. We need to be more clinical when the shots come in. Cross comes in from Bellerin, and it's Wilshere getting on the end of it, getting really far forward, but doesn't really challenge the Bournemouth keeper. And now Walcott, with his first touch of the season, loses it. Brilliant. Right, Bournemouth are attacking Defoe. I still think Jermaine Defoe is going to score a goal against us today, and Bournemouth are in here, and Cech makes a good save. And that's two clear-cut chances for Bournemouth now. We've not had one yet. This system doesn't seem to be working away from home. We need to go back to the drawing board a little bit, I think. Kev does tactics, and we need to figure out a tactic that's going to make us look as good away from home as we have in the two home games that we've had so far. Although I guess if we win all our home games and draw all the away games, we'll be there or thereabouts. Maybe. Does that work mathematically? Right, Giroud not really had a very good game at all. We're running out of attacking players to bring on for him. Let's bring Asano on, who I know nothing about, but he doesn't want to play as a complete forward, so let's make him an advanced forward. Unless we can stick him out onto the left wing and get Welbeck up front as the complete forward. Perhaps we'll do that, because I just don't know who this guy is. I don't know if I trust him to be able to create a... No, I don't want him being in there as a finisher. Welbeck's had a goal a game from the striker position, so stick Asano out wide, get Welbeck up top for 10 minutes, and maybe he can keep his excellent goal-scoring run going. And mental note, don't bring Giroud into the team ever again. Oh, and Defoe's in, and there's the goal that we knew was coming all along. I called it at the start of the game that Jermaine Defoe was going to get a goal, and there you go. With 5 minutes left on the clock, we're losing away to Bournemouth. And what had been a really, really good start to the season, we've survived the transfer window, and now we're going to lose away against Bournemouth, and all that good work starts to get undone. It's the curse of the manager of the month. It's the curse of Jermaine Defoe, and we're running somehow, despite signing 2 more in the summer, we're running out of attacking players, and I don't know how we can have so many injuries at one time is beyond me. But we've got 30 seconds left. It's Asano running forward, and I mean, he just runs straight into a Bournemouth player. They're coming at us again. Monreal attacks the ball. Asensio to Wilshere. Can we grab an equaliser here? A really unlikely equaliser. Ramsey tries to play Bellerin in, but he can't quite get there, and we've not got time. There you go. We've had our first defeat of the season. Rubbish. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thank you very much for watching.